Back in high school, I always remember running out of things to talk about during a conversation. Some questions I got were, what are you planning to do after high school? Do you play any sports? You got a job yet? A girlfriend? Even just a basic, how are you? I would simply respond, good. What about you? Looking back, I realized the answer was pretty obvious. I was unrelatable. My day would consist of morning, wake up, watch YouTube videos while eating breakfast, walk to school. Afternoon, class work and studying, speak only to a few close friends, walk home from school, start eating snacks or fast food while playing video games or watching YouTube, anime, or Netflix. Evening, do homework, play more video games or watch more YouTube, anime, or Netflix. Go to bed. And the weekends would be spent playing video games or watching some form of content the entire day. I know most guys watching relate to this routine, and let me tell you, when I would go occasionally on the weekends, those conversations would be dry as hell. People would be happy to start a conversation with me, but as soon as they continue to ask me questions to try to get to know me better, I could see a sense of frustration being built within themselves. Because after a few simple questions like, do you work a job? What sports do you play? And what are your plans for tomorrow? They would realize that I spend all of my free time just chilling, which is an extremely unappealing personality trait to have. I knew there were things I needed to do, such as getting a part-time job, figuring out my career path, going to the gym and getting in shape, improving my social skills, and pursuing hobbies that I enjoy. But no matter how much I thought about it, I never got started. At the time, it felt extremely overwhelming to start any new good habit because I had done nothing productive for the last 10, almost 15 years. And knowing that other people my age had already been working out, working a job, had high-level social skills, and I've mastered several hobbies, I just felt ashamed of myself. Not only did I feel significantly behind my peers, but I also felt that there was no reason to even get started in the first place if I'm already years behind the average person. Most people my age had something going for themselves, which provided them with a sense of confidence, knowing that their time was well spent. Everyone my age was growing up, gaining all these life experiences, taking on more responsibilities, and I could not relate to living a normal life because I was stuck in the same technology-addicted routine year after year. And every year that passed by, I just fell farther behind. Not being able to relate to people your age because you feel behind or are unaccomplished as a person can create serious insecurity within that individual. Some examples may include not having a legitimate career, not being in a relationship, being skinny or fat, being broke, or having no meaningful social life. Because humans have a fundamental need for belonging, this person will feel outcasted even when surrounded by other people because they are beneath a certain standard set by society. There is a cycle of doom that a person will fall into if they're not able to connect with anyone due to a lack of relatability. The cycle goes as followed. Waste time. Instead of spending time doing good habits and sticking to your routine, you decide that it is a good idea to spend hours of the day playing video games, scrolling on social media, taking drugs, or doing whatever bad habit applies to you. Not only do you waste time, but you also do these bad habits consistently. Social anxiety. After spending a period of time being lazy, you are eventually forced into some type of social environment, usually school or work, or a friend could have invited you out. You feel extremely anxious around others because a feeling of incompetence and inadequacy compared to others causes a huge dip in self-confidence. During conversations, you have social anxiety, which causes you to be hesitant about speaking up, while also speaking softly, quietly, or nervously, and using short responses like, yeah, yes, okay, sure, to avoid sharing anything about yourself so that nobody finds out about your personal life. Shame and rejection. Even after trying to hide your personal life from others, people can tell from your shallow responses, body language, and confidence that you waste all your free time on meaningless habits. People realize that you're going nowhere in life, so they either distance themselves from you or call you out for being lazy. In every social group, you end up at the bottom of the social hierarchy because you have gained no new skills, experience, or knowledge that you can share to help others, causing even more shame to build within yourself. Social barrier. The human mind can only handle so much shame and rejection, so you start to develop a mental barrier in your mind that enables shy and reserved behavior during conversation because you want to hide the fact that you waste your time overindulging in addictive habits. You avoid certain conversation topics and you stop answering certain questions so that your lazy lifestyle does not get exposed. The human brain will do whatever it takes to make yourself feel mentally safe, so you may even start to lie about what you did this weekend, what career you have, having a partner, to make yourself feel normal around others. The social barrier created in the mind prevents the person from forming any new relationships, eventually leading to a lonely, isolated lifestyle. Isolation and addiction. This is the stage where things get dark. Due to a lack of social connection, which is a fundamental human need, you begin to isolate yourself because your brain wants to avoid as much social interaction as possible due to the amount of shame and rejection you face in pretty much every social environment. Since your social life has now disappeared, you have a lot more free time, and to cope with the fact that you are alone, you overindulge even farther into addiction, whether that be social media, video games, movies, junk food, drugs, etc. Chronic loneliness. The end stage where your days consist of waking up and immediately going on your phone, turning on your PlayStation, or picking up a bottle of alcohol, and the entire day revolves around bad habits and overconsumption. A majority of people at the chronic loneliness stage have no responsibilities, and that includes no work or school, because their social anxiety, guilt, shame has gone so far to a point where they do not leave their house anymore. Their dopamine receptors are so fried from addiction that simple activities such as drinking water, eating properly, taking a shower feels impossible. A person at this stage loses all hope of a future, and they just wish they could go back and stop themselves from spending that hour playing video games or skipping the gym to eat a bag of chips. Staying stuck in this stage feels like digging yourself into a hole every day, and the deeper that hole goes, the harder it is to climb out. After a few months or even a few years, a person will miss out on so many life experiences to a point where it feels like their life is over, which is why the term "it's over, bro" has become so popular. All instant gratification leads to an end stage where you have no goals, plans, skills, responsibilities, and worst of all, nobody cares about you. You become invisible to the world. Every time you try to start a conversation or join a new group of people, there's a strong sense of shame that hits you like a truck the moment people ask you the most basic questions about yourself, and that shame further solidifies the mind into isolation. The only way out of the cycle is by making daily improvements to your life to rebuild confidence and self-respect. Whenever you find yourself in the chronic loneliness stage, just ask yourself, what caused you to reach for that bad habit in the first place? Thanks for watching, everyone.